guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Today I am finally doing my Shine by SD video. I've been mentioning this in past videos for a while now that this was coming, and just with everything with my grandma passing, it took a little bit longer. Luckily, Shaniqua from Shine by SD, she's been super kind and understanding, so it got pushed back a little bit, but we're here today to show you two of the new collections. We have the Jeweled Dreams collection, which are jeweled multi-chromes, and then I also have the Hidden Gem collection, which are beautiful, probably my favorite ones. So a little sneak peek of my palette here. Lots of fun, brilliant, bright shadows. I am working with Shine by SD on this video. I've done a lot of these videos in the past, so I'll leave those linked down below. But basically I just swatch all these out, try to give you the best information that I can, describe the color, describe the shifts, and try to show you them as well. So hopefully you can get the most information and decide if these shadows are good for you or whatnot compared to your shadow collection, all that stuff. I always try to make them as informational as possible, and I'm really lucky that Shaniqua lets me do whatever I want. So again, I'll leave the past videos that I've done in the past down below if you want to check those videos out. I did film this look a little bit simple, little tiny wing, like what's going on, so that'll be at the end. And I also do have a coupon code, so you can use my code if you want to. It's not monetarily affiliated, but it will save you 10% off your order, so that will be down below. But I think that's it. I want to keep the intro pretty short and just get into the swatches. I did do like secondary, like 2 different types of swatches. So I have overhead, but then I'm going to insert some other swatches that I have. I really feel like those ones capture the shifts, and I think I might even switch to that style only in the future. We'll see, but let me know what you guys think of the swatches and what you prefer. But other than that, let's just get into the swatches. All right, guys, so here we are with the palettes. I basically have 2 collections to show you guys. So up here we have the Jeweled Dreams collections. That's this first row, and then going over. And then on this bottom section, these are the Hidden Gems collection. Those are really beautiful as well. I do have just like one singular guy from the Fantasy collection, so I'll swatch that as well because it's one of the most stunning ones here. But anyway, I'm excited to get into them though and tell you my favorites, which ones I like, and just give you some hopefully good and informative swatches so you can make a decision on what shadow would be right for you if any of them are. So let's get into the Jeweled Dreams collection first. Starting off with Inferno, this is a shadow described as shifts of orange, magenta, yellow, gold, green, and blue. Oh wow. It is stunning. This is one of the ones that looks heavily foiled in swatches. It's also quite a thin formula. You guys see like a coppery color. I see straight up green. So it's definitely one of those that goes kind of red to orange to green. You can see some of the green there. Actually, let me swatch across my arm so hopefully you can see the shift. Sometimes the angle helps. It is stunning though. So there you can see the green. Look at that. I see orange. I do see the magenta. There's a golden shade, a kind of like limey acidy green, and then this pretty rich green. It doesn't quite go teal, but very solidly green. Oh, there's a little, look at that blue even. Really, really pretty. Tons of colors in here. I would say they're the strongest ones here, kind of that orangey golden kind of color, this rusty kind of color, and then the green. Like you see the shifts in between, but those are the 2 main colors. Really, really quite beautiful. I'm going to do some swatches next to each other just so you guys can see them. So I'll probably do like 3 at a time. This next shade is called Furious. This is a really beautiful green, but it also has this blue to it, a really like aqua-y blue. Really stunning. Again, that thinner formula. It's also like highly metallic, like almost like a mirror finish type of look to it. Not like individual sparkles, if that makes sense. This shade is described as having shifts of emerald green, gold, and vibrant blue. I'm gonna put it on the top here. Oh, it's so pretty. I love these kind of like aqua green blue colors. So you guys are seeing green and I am seeing that beautiful blue. So let's see. Here you can see it. It definitely is looking like almost purple, and I feel like the camera's having a hard time picking up the like Oh, we see a little bit of it here. So that like teal blue, you can see the green, the teal blue, and then it almost looks like a really, really deep blue, like verging on purple. I honestly don't get much of the gold flip in this one. I would say this mostly reads as like a green to blue shift, but with a lot of pretty in between colors. Very, very pretty. Next, we have the shade Tilted. This is described as having shifts of orange, gold, and blue-green. All right, I definitely see the green and the gold. I'm excited to see the blue maybe come out and to see it kind of compared to Inferno, the first shade that we had. It's so interesting because what I'm swatching, you guys are probably like, what are you talking about? Of course there's a difference, but in my view, I'm seeing the green of both of them at the same time. I don't even see that kind of copper shade. So you can see the gold there. There is a light like orangey gold going on as well. And then when you turn here, this is what I'm seeing. So those kind of greens are similar to each other. This one, I almost feel like has a bit more blue to my actual eye. I don't know, but this doesn't have that rusty shade at all. It doesn't have that kind of like orange. It more stays golden. And I would say in general, the flip just isn't as strong. This has so many more flips kind of going on. It just never stops changing colors. So that one is the shade Tilted. All right, next from the Jeweled Dreams collection, this is the shade Distance. It's described as having shifts of yellow, green, and teal blue. I decided to actually swatch this with everything else because I really wanted to see the differences. These all kind of have something green and blue and gold going on, so I felt like it made the most sense to have them next to each other to kind of see the shifts and the comparisons. So this is Distance. You can see definitely the blue. I'm getting the gold and the green as well. Really pretty. I really like this one. They are all definitely different, but I would say like these two are close to each other. There's the difference that you can see right there with the kind of orangey copper and the gold. And then these two seem to be pretty similar to each other as well. I would say the top one here has more of an actual purple undertone going on, and I feel like the teal in it is stronger, like the blue-based green, whereas this has the blue-based green, but it's kind of the end of its shift. I would say this color almost all the time reads more green, either a nice like dark grassy green or something a little bit more electric and kind of yellow and shimmering and even a little bit of gold, and then it only goes teal at the end. So those are the first four in the Jeweled Dreams collection. All right, the next shade I want to talk about, this is called Top Notch. This is described as having shifts of magenta, lavender pink, and gold, and it definitely has it. I am like looking at this color pretty shocked. It's a pretty unique one to so many of the colors I feel like I've seen like this. Now, this is one of those ones that has the almost green black base. If you've, if you're into the multichromes, you might kind of know what I'm talking about. So this has that kind of base on it. You see the purple here. It's almost this royal purple. I'm getting some of the magenta. I'm also getting some orange. And again, at the very end, a little bit of green. So you can see the green there, and then some of the yellow. But really this like orangey yellow that comes out is so stunning and beautiful. I don't know, the way it's done is just a little bit different. The way the yellow orange shines with the purple, I think just contrasts so beautifully, because yellows and purples are opposite. It's really quite beautiful and pretty special. I think I'm gonna try to do more of the purple shades so that way we can do them all at once. This next one's called Freedom. This is described as having shifts of deep blue, teal, purple, magenta, and gold. So I see more that purple and magenta, and you guys just get the blue. It's so crazy to see the difference in the monitor. It like trips you out. This is really pretty. I don't know why. It like reminds me of like a female villain in Batman. I don't know why. That is what I get. I don't even know which villain. I don't know. That's just what I'm getting from it. So it definitely has the blue. I'm picking up a lot of the red magenta and the kind of cooler purple and the in-between, but I don't really get the gold. I'm not picking up really any gold in this one necessarily. It almost looks like, you know, a frosty or slushy or something where you have like the red and the blue and then it mixes to make like that dark purple. It's kind of like that, but I guess it's not red. It's more of a magenta pink, but you can kind of see it here like an icy or something. Really quite cool. That one is nice and blue, and I think would make a nice, more monochromatic look. Like the shift on it all is cohesive, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. All right, next I thought I would talk about Electron because this is another one of those purple blue kind of colors. Oh yeah, it's definitely pigmented. This is described as having shifts of deep, vibrant blue and purple, and that's definitely what it's looking like. This has like a blackened base. You can see the blue here and also how different it is from the blue in the last shade. So this is more of that royal cobalty blue, like that crayon blue, whereas this has a little more green in the blue. Anyway, I mean, those are the two colors it really goes between. It's interesting because, again, I'm not really seeing the blue personally a ton. I get more this really dark grape where you really see the black base also with that purple. So it's like more cool toned, again, not really green, any green going onto this blue. A good one if you like those tones of blues and purples. Again, these are quite cohesive with each other as well between the shifting colors. Whereas I guess with this one, not that it's not cohesive, but you can see how contrasty the colors are to each other. All right, next is the shade Vibrations. This is a lot more teal. So it says shifts of teal, green, blue, and magenta. I wanted to see it still compared though. I'm definitely seeing like way more of the teal. I see that like up front, but I also am picking up a lot of that magenta as well. This one doesn't seem quite as pigmented. It's like, it almost isn't as smooth as the other ones, but there we are. I mean, I love this type of teal. I really do. I think it's pretty, and I feel like I like the teal color in this one more than I do in the Freedom shade, I believe it is. But I also feel like this was, I don't know, it's a little bit just different, I guess, in formula. And I do feel like they're quite similar. You know, this has just a little more green to the teal. This has a little more blue, but they're so close, and the shifts I feel like are so similar. You can even see the shifts, I feel like, and how similar they are in the swatches here, that I don't know if you would need both of them. Like, to me, I don't know. I like the colors of this one. I feel like I like the formula of that one a little bit more, or just like it was just smoother. But yeah, I think those are pretty close if you were kind of deciding between them. Hopefully the swatches can help you pick maybe one instead of getting two that are kind of similar. Okay, I know I'm basically out of hand space, but I really want to swatch this one. Oh my gosh. This is called Scored, and it is a blue and purple. So again, I really want to see whatever closeness they might have to each other and point them out. This is described as having cool blue and muted magenta shifts. So let's see. Definitely looks very cool to me. We're running out of space, you guys. We're really running out of space. All right, here we are. I definitely feel like this is the cooler blue out of all of them, and I feel like it has the least shift going on. So I see a tiny bit of purple, but I would say mostly this stays this really beautiful blue. I think it's stunning. Like, this would look so good over a smoky eye, like tapped over. I love it. I do feel like it's kind of close to, I believe that's Electron, but the difference is you can see this has more like of that cobalt. This almost has a little more green in it in the colors here, but also this has a stronger actual purple flash to it. So you can see it coming through a little bit here, whereas this doesn't have as strong of a purple. In person, you see it more than what you're seeing here, but still, those are the differences in case you wanted to know. All right, those are more of the purples and blues swatched out. All right, I have 3 more colors to talk about, and these all are kind of similar as well, so they'll swatch really nicely, I feel like, together. This one is called Distraction, and this actually seems similar to Inferno. It's described as having shifts of magenta, yellow, gold, and green, which is what that one had. So I might swatch that one out too, just so we can compare. This is definitely one of those golden, green, kind of coppery magenta shades, so you can see it there. Definitely more of like a pink magenta. I see the gold, I see that kind of orange gold shift between stuff. I see the green for sure. Definitely a pretty color. This is kind of the scarab beetle green mixed with that magenta. I'm gonna quickly swatch Inferno here just so we see. I think this one might be like more green heavy. Yeah, it is. Sometimes it's really nice just to actually see the difference, because if not, you can kind of think they're going to be more similar than they are. So Inferno, which we swatched at the very beginning, this one is Distraction. And you can just see off the bat, this has more of that orange copper. This is more of like a pink magenta shade. And then they do have a similar color green to them, but I actually find, like, from my angle, I'm picking up on the bottom one more of that golden orange shade from where I'm seeing, where this is like completely green. So they are different. If you're looking for more like a pink green flip, I would go with Distraction. And if you're looking for more like an orangey copper to green, then Inferno's a better one. All right, next here, this is called Raging Fire. Make sure we're in focus. All right, Raging Fire. This is described as having shifts of fiery red, orange, and yellow. Definitely the most different. Like, nothing looks even quite close to this one. It is really quite pretty. So it has that blackened base, and it has a similar orange to the top shade Inferno here. I would say it's even stronger. It's like quite dazzling. And then when it goes in the light, I do pick up this flash of like a fiery red pink going on in this shade. And then with the blackened base, it has a little green going on, but it's not nearly as dark as a lot of the other ones. I say it definitely sticks more to the orange, the fiery red, kind of the gold. It doesn't have too much green in it at all. So that one is Raging Fire. I really love how vibrant that orange is. It's super summery. And then last here, this is the shade Gladiator, and this is the most golden out of everything for sure. It's described as having shifts of yellow gold, bronze gold, and light green. Oh wow, this one feels the wettest almost, like it's thin, but a little, I don't know, smoother and just definitely a different formula. It feels nice, but it's different feeling. Very, very smooth. Like there's almost this little flake. Look, it's like a little flake has come off. I don't know what that's about, but this is the most neutral for sure out of everything. It does have that light green shift, but it's definitely golden, and it does have that kind of bronze, almost an orangey bronze going on, and then the light green. I feel like though it doesn't have the intensity that something like this green has. It's just definitely lighter. So if you're looking for the neutral ones, Raging Fire and Gladiator are going to be the two that are the most neutral in here. All right, so here we are with the swatches. I mean, these are beautiful, and I feel like the Jeweled Dreams collection name really fits these jewel toned multi-chromes that are going on. Some of the ones that really stand out to me, Gladiator I think is just a beautiful gold. I really enjoy that one. I really loved this, like the teal in this color. I think it's stunning. It's called Vibrations, but it's definitely a little bit stiffer than the other ones. I'm not saying it's not good, just a little bit different in formula, but I just love that kind of teal color. Like, I do. I love it. If you're looking for like a purple to yellow kind of orange shift, I do think that this one's quite beautiful. That's top notch. I love the greens here. I mean, they're all really pretty. I will say I'm excited to show you the next set of colors because that is the Hidden Gems. And I feel like those are a little more my style. They're more sheer. These are that kind of traditional multi-chrome formula. It's a little more foiled. There's a lot of sparkle, but I feel like overall it gives more of like a foiled look on the eye than like individual piecey sparkles. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, but let's just get into the Hidden Gems so I can show you all those. All right, let's get into it. Hidden Gems, here we are. These actually retail for a little bit less. These are about $10 and some change US, so it's kind of just a bonus. I like these ones, but they don't have as many shifts, so that's a thing. Anyway, first one here, this is called Mysterious, and it's described as a light sparkly silver with a slight pink and gold shift. So beautiful. I feel like silvers, I don't have a ton of just like straight up silvers, but I'm going to swatch in light colors again. I don't know, I kind of liked that and seeing the comparisons. So that is what it looks like. I definitely get a silver with a gold sparkle. I don't see a ton. I guess I see the pink. Yeah, it is in there. It's like a light, almost baby pink. But what I really get is the gold. There's like a gold sparkle to the shadow. And so it almost looks like this silver that's sparkling gold, which I think is pretty special. So that is the shade Mysterious, and it is a silver. I'm going to do purples, so you can see those next to gray. I don't know. They're kind of close to each other. This next one's called Purple Rain, and this one is beautiful. So beautiful. It has like a purple and blue shift. Like, these are the types of shadows I love. On their own, kind of sheared out or over top stuff. They just kind of make everything a little bit special. Now, formula-wise on these are definitely a little more dry. I find that with a lot of the shine shadows, and I actually like that formula because I feel like it lets the sparkle really shine. This one is so special because the blue that's in here sparkling is that tealy blue with this purple. So special. Like, I love this shade. This is like Barbie, but instead of a pink color, it's like the purple version of a Barbie color. So beautiful. Like, I really love this one, you guys. Love. And just so you guys know, this is described as a vibrant lilac blue with blue specks and a shift of maroon. I don't get the maroon too much, but man, the greeny tealy blue sparkle that's within this purple lilac shade, stunning. I love that shadow. And last for purples, this is called Tantalizing. I'm trying to make sure it focuses. The camera is always so picky about it, but this is called Tantalizing. Anyway, let's swatch out. This one definitely has a lot more pink. I feel like this is gonna stain me. This reminds me of MAC's Stars and Rockets, kinda. You know, that kind of a color. Tantalizing is described as a bright fuchsia pink with a shift of light blue sparkle. That's definitely what it is. It has a strong pink base. You can see it almost better on my fingers, like really seeing that blue and pink shift on it. I love shadows like this. This just reminds me of like, I mean, I hate to keep bringing up Barbie, but it's like seashell Barbie. You know, it's like a seashell Barbie color. So pretty. I think I like these one because they have like a high sparkle to them. They're just more my style than the other Multichromes, just personally, although the other ones are stunning. These are just ones I know I'd wear more often, and it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's just like a bonus that they're also the more inexpensive ones, but lots of sparkle with them. I love them. It wasn't too bad. I didn't really get too much of a stain, which is awesome. Let's do some greens next, or at least green leaning shadows. This one's called Northern Lights. It's described as a silvery mauve with a shift of mossy green. I mostly get the mossy green. That's what this is mostly giving. This is a little bit more like the Multichrome formula in that it's not as sparkly. It's more foiled. What you're seeing is this really pretty, almost muted khaki green gold thing. I'm seeing a lot more actual green, something more like on the side here. And I really am not getting a ton of the maroon. Even in the base pigment there, you can see it's more of like a blackened base than a maroon base. I guess it says mauve. I don't really get too much mauve even. Pretty interesting. Definitely can see the kind of silvery gold thing going on. I like the mossy green, but formula wise, again, it's not like that same sparkly, I guess more dry formula. It's a little bit more like the Multichromes in the Jeweled Dreams collection. Next, this one is called Judgment. This is described as a soft peach pink with a strong teal green and light golden yellow shift. I love colors like this. These are some of my favorites. Definitely picking up on like the pink kind of red base, and then it does have a green shift on top. I don't get a ton of teal from this color. It's there, but it definitely leans on the green side, so it almost looks like a golden green. I really like the way the base shines through. You can see it there. I love shades like this. It reminds me kind of Sun Aurora from Touch and Soul a little bit. That one's a little more of like a red gold shift, where this one has more of a greeny gold thing going on, but with a red pink base. So really love that type of shadow. I think these look great just like all over the lid, but they also look great topped over different shadows and looks. All right, and last, this is called Swish. It is a bright lime green with a shift of golden chartreuse. I'm actually picking up something kind of, look at the pink. You can see it. It's almost like a watermelon sour candy or something. That's what I get from it. Oh my gosh, that one is so pretty. I feel like this gives you more than what the description says. There is definitely the pink in here, almost like an orange sparkle, a golden sparkle on top of this like electrified lime green base. That I like. Like this is sour watermelon candy. You cannot tell me otherwise. I love it. In the summertime, that's when you're eating it. I love that one. So unique, so pretty. I also do really like this one here, Judgment. That one is pretty too. Definitely two more faves. I think Northern Lights is nice and would look good for a smoky eye, but I mean, I just can't deny my love for these. These I just want to tap over like a primer and like go out the door. You know, put some mascara on. Like so pretty. All right, next we have the shade Pacific Blue. There's two different blue shades I want to have next to each other. Oh my gosh, so pretty. This is a pretty classic, almost like I don't know, you're on like a tropical island vacation, the way the water would look. That's kind of the way that this blue looks, but then it has this golden flash. It has like a bit of purple, a bit of magenta, a little bit of pink, some golden orange, like so many colors. It's like the sun's glinting off the water in the Caribbean or something. Like, honestly, it is so pretty. This is described as a vibrant ocean blue with soft purple specks and golden green shifts. I don't get the green, really. Yeah, I don't get green. I get like a magenta, I get like an orange and a gold. So pretty. The sparkle on it's nice and soft as well. It's still super sparkly, like there's tons of sparkles, but they're not as large of particles, I guess. Very, very pretty. The other one that I have here, Mythical Seas, I think, again, this teal shade, I'm a sucker. I am such a sucker for a teal color like this, where there's green and blue. Stop. I really love that. This has like a murky quality to it. I love, love, love that. And it is sheer with a little bit of a blackened base, but I love that. I love that about it. So again, as like a single shadow, love that. As a topper over anything you do, any neutral look, you tap this on, elevated to some level you didn't even know. Takes you to a room on a floor that didn't exist before. Like, can you tell I'm excited? Here I go. I'm going off. I love, love, love this. This is probably my favorite color in terms of tone, sparkle, just everything. I love it. Mythical Seas. I can't get enough of those types of shades, and I think they lend themselves to be neutral as well really easily. Pair this with a dark brown, a light brown, a reddy brown, like something that has a red tone to it. All of that would be stunning over a dark gray, a dark black, a smoky eye, or something even more heavy than that. All of it would look great with that color. All right, next, this is called Flamethrower. This is a orange and red kind of magenta with a gold. Again, I don't know why. I like almost prefer this type of shadow, just like formula wise, and the way I know it's gonna look on the eyes. That's just what I've learned. Like the jeweled multichromes from a lot of different brands that I've tried, they're just preference wise not my favorite. A lot of them have the black bases, and I just feel like they're more of a look, whereas these I can make be a look, or I can kind of share them out a lot more easy. Anyway, this is really pretty. I feel like it is just straight up like fire. It's beautiful, and although it looks like there's a green flash to it, you really don't see green from this shadow. This is described as a burnt orange with a shift of yellow and gold. It's exactly what it is. There's also this really fiery, almost kind of neon looking pink to it that I really like. Like I like that shade in a lot of different shadows that she does. So that's Flamethrower. Really, really stunning. This could also be summer or fall. Like I see this as a bronze golden look, but then I also am like fall, the leaves are turning brown and red, and autumn. Like it could play into any of those. All right, next here we have the shade Electrifying. This is more almost neutral than Flamethrower. I really like that. I'm surprised by how much I like that actually, because kind of in the pan, I'm like, yeah, you know, but it is really beautiful. This is described as a pink rose gold with orange, yellow, and a slight green shift. I can just see this being in any of those kind of rosy palettes that have come out lately, like that type of a shadow. It has that golden pink shift to it, and it's more vibrant than a lot of those, but also for shine, maybe it's a little bit, I don't want to say dulled down, but there's something about it that again feels like more wearable, like everyday type of shadow that I just like really like while still being shifty and different and like luxe. Like, I don't know. That's like one of my favorite ones. I wasn't expecting that, but I really quite like that one. Beautiful, like so beautiful. Okay, now Dangerous, this is beautiful. This is described as a fluorescent yellow-green with an orange shift. It's definitely fluorescent. I would say this looks more yellow though. There is like an acidity to this, but again, I would say that it looks like a lemon than it does more green. But it has actually this green shift in it, this green sparkle, very fine, but there, as well as this kind of like pink orangey neon sparkle going through it too. So pretty as an inner corner highlight. I cannot tell you how pretty this is. It's stunning. I love it. These are definitely colors that I would wear more in targeted areas to really like pinpoint some color. And I feel like the inner corner and even a little bit onto the lower lash line, beautiful. These are more the orangey kind of golden shades that I wanted to swatch next to each other. All of them are very different in the hidden gems. I don't feel like there's too many shadows that look even remotely similar until we get to this next one actually. The next set of shadows are going to be more the pink shade, so let's get to those. All right, I'm going to start off with Luring. This is described as a peach with silver specks and an orange shift. I mean, up front, it definitely has like a pink going on though. Ooh, so pretty. This one is so pretty, you guys. This all over the lid for me with nothing else on my lid, just this. Summer, the pink in here is really pretty. It almost pulls a little cool toned, and then that mixed with the orange that's in the base of this, I think is just a stunning, stunning color. And the formula, again, it's kind of sheer, but it can be built up, and it almost looks kind of glassy, like this isn't more sheared out, but if you build it up, it's kind of glassy looking. And again, it just seems like summer and it's just beautiful. I love, love, love this shadow. Luring is stunning. Let's do these two though. These are the ones that seemed the most similar to me. Again, they were just a little bit broken, so I don't want to take them out of here. Okay, maybe I shouldn't go as hard in. Jeez, Lauren. It's quite dry, so maybe that's why it crumbled a little. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a silvery white with a pink shift. It almost looks like angel, like sparkles or angel dust, but not like the drug, like angel, like dust and angel would spread. I mean, it is called Palm Angel, so I feel like it's fitting. This is described as having a soft lavender purple with a pearl shift. I mean, the lavender purple that this is supposed to be, to me, reads more pink, honestly, like a baby pink. I don't really get too much lavender. Like, I wouldn't have known it was lavender until they told me. So that one is Palm Angel. But then I want to swatch Starbright next to it just because they look the most... Oh no, I'm really trying to save it. Okay, let's swatch Starbright. Okay, definitely gold. It's way more gold. It's basically the gold version of Angel Palm. So if you want something cooler, more white like pearl, you're gonna want Palm Angel. Whereas if you like the idea of that same kind of pink sparkle, but instead with a more golden base, that's what Starbright gives you. These are really pretty. These are great toppers, or on the brow bone even. I think that's where I would want to use them. Even in a loose form like this, you know, because they're so sparkly, they really do look almost like dust. They're so pretty. My fingers are so shiny. Okay, let me clean this up, and then I'm also going to swatch these out for you so you can see them. All right, here they all are swatched. They're stunning, you guys, like so stunning. I'm gonna try to insert a little video of me and like the angle I see. I feel like it's kind of dark looking, but I just want to show you like the actual sparkles. You can see them so much in this video. So pretty. I mean, Shine by SD is the queen of shine. The queen of shine. Okay, I hope that that even looks remotely, it's a little bit dark, but at least you can see some of the sparkle a little bit closer. I'm just obsessed with all of these, honestly. These are just more my formula. The only one, Northern Lights, maybe isn't my favorite. Everything else, like, I don't think you're gonna be unhappy with. Like, I love these. It is a drier formula, and it's pretty unique to Shine. I've had a lot of other shadows from her that feel like this. It's one of my favorites because, again, I really like the way that the sparkle is, and I like tapping it over maybe a cream shadow or something that has a little stick to it, but I like love it. I think it's so pretty. This is one of my favorites. Purple Rain, love. Luring, I really love. Dangerous, I really love. Mystical Sea, I think it is. Mysterious Sea, let me see. Mythical Sea, I love that one. Love this lime green. Like these two, because they're broken, I kind of was like, oh, but now I'm sad because they're so stunning. And I love actually that they're almost, like they're similar, but one's a little more warm toned, one's a little cool toned. Like I actually really appreciate that detail. So that's the Hidden Gems. My favorite out of the two for sure. Really love the Hidden Gems. Like love, love, love. And last, I thought real fast I would show you this one from the Fantasy collection. This one's called Takeover. This is one of the multi-chromes I do like love. Like this has it's like every color. I'm speechless honestly right now because that's how this type of shade makes me. I talked about this actually in my video where I was duping the Pat McGrath palette, the new Moonlit Seduction. And this is one of the shades I put in there just for funsies. And so many of you guys are like, oh my gosh, what the heck is that shade? So this is it. I know it's so hard to capture, honestly. Some of these multi-chromes are just tough, but hopefully in my secondary swatches of these things, you can see a little bit more. This has like a blue base to it. Instead of like a black base or something, it has like a blue darker base. Then it has green, it has gold, it has orange, it has pink. It has like every color in it. It's so beautiful. It reminds me of like mythical knights and fairies and stuff like that. Basically like the Dark Ages, but the like fantasy aspect of the Dark Ages, if that makes sense. Or medieval times, I guess. The fantasy portions of medieval times where there's dragons and fairies and that type of stuff going on. It's just a stunning shade. So beautiful. And I feel like nothing but seeing it in person does it justice. So that's Takeover. There's quite a few shades like this. Glam Rush is another one. It's more purple based. I bring that one up just because it's more my style with the kind of pastel almost version of a multichrome as opposed to the more jewel toned multichromes that can be out there. So love this. I hope you guys enjoyed the swatches, but now let's get on to the eye look for this video. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the swatches. Let's get started on the look. I have a fresh face. I'm ready for the eyes. I want to kind of go for this hot pink moment that's in my shirt. I'm excited. So I'm going to prime first. I'm just using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I'm really having one shadow be the star of the show on my lids today, but I'm also going to do like this kind of smudgy wing is what I'm thinking, which is a little bit different for me, but I think it'll look really pretty. I have a whole vision. We'll see if it turns out. So I think I'm gonna take first this liner. This is just a gray liner from Pixie, and I'm putting it on a little angled brush first just to have a little more control. I don't want my wing to be too big or anything, but I really want to start smudging this into my lash line and then just have the tiniest little wing going. Like I really want to try to keep it faint, not a big deal. I do not want this wing eating up everything. I feel like that's what I've done always in the past, and I think that's what's, you know, kept me away from wings for a while. They don't have to be massive, you know, they don't. Well, I definitely think it went better on this eye, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna take a shadow now, and it's just like a dark brown gray. It doesn't really matter. It is a matte though, and I'm just gonna kind of go on top of that liner. And I'm laying this down first because the shade I'm using has this kind of duochrome thing going on, and I think it will layer well on top because I'm gonna lay everything just over top this wing like it's not there almost. Okay, I don't want to go any more than that. I don't know if the wings are even. I'm not going to hyperfixate on it. For my lid, I'm taking the shade Luring, the one that has the pink and the kind of orange shift to it. It's so pretty. That's going to be my lid shade. I'm really just tapping that everywhere. Oh yeah. And again, kind of onto the wing and everything that's going on, and I can always go back over. All right, so the wing's pretty covered up. I think I'm just gonna go in and kind of deepen it up a little bit. Taking more of a smudger brush, just kind of waking up that liner. I really wanted this like sheer looking shadow, so I kind of like where it's at. I wanted to do color without it feeling so in your face and more of like that kind of glass look on the eyes. So I think I'm gonna leave that actually there. I do want a little highlighter on my brow bone. I'm actually gonna just use the highlighter I've been using for the mirror. This is the Pat McGrath one. I love it. And I really like the wings aren't super defined. Like I kind of like that smudgy look. That's also kind of what I was going for. I do want to add a pop to the inner corner because I think it will be fun. And I'm going to go in with the Dangerous shade. I just think that'll look good. I'm gonna add some mascara, and then I think I have one last thing I wanna do, but I wanna add the mascara and make sure before I do it. So let me do that. As always, mascara just brings home a look for me. Like it adds so much definition compared to no mascara. I'm going to tightline a little bit. I thought that would look nice. And then I think the last thing I want to do, I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Palm Angel, which I have in this little clamshell, and I'm going to tap it just gently. I have just the tiniest bit on my finger, but I want to tap it right here, coming out from my eye. It does have like this, a similar pink, but it also is like silver. I just thought that would be pretty. You know, I also just thought, okay, we did that. I might regret this, but I'm just getting creative. I'm gonna take that same yellow shade on a pencil brush and kind of underneath the wing, kind of add it. It'd probably look best if I had like some type of water activated liner, but it's okay. All right, that's what we did. That's my look. I hope you guys liked it. Let me zoom in for you. Here we are. I love it. I love how simple it is. I love the pink. It's just kind of glossy looking. That's like what I wanted for the look today. And I actually kind of like the wing, that it's not super big. Kind of like that it's almost like a shadow, a ghost of a wing, and not something too strong. I might like play around with that, but anyway, hope you guys like the look. I think that's everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope these swatches are helpful and can help you decide if any of these will be right for you or how they compare to other shadows in your collection. That's always my goal with these. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.